This is Future Tech, where each week we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of where tech is headed in 2023 and beyond.
Twitter is under fire after graphic images of a recent mass shooting in Texas began to spread on the platform. Blake Montgomery joins us now. And Blake, obviously it would be very upsetting, right, if you're scrolling along on your Twitter feed and you, unbeknownst to you, come across some of these horrific images.
And they were really graphic pictures of the victims of the shooting that were spreading unmitigated, not slowed down at all. Like, Twitter has never banned graphic content. We've seen there's a lot of pornography on there. It's really the favored platform of like porn stars and people making that kind of content. In the past, what Twitter has done is put an overlay in front of the pictures that says warning graphic images, and you have to click on it to be able to see what's going on. And these pictures were quite severe. There was one picture of a child covered in blood. The victims of the mass shooting in Allen, Texas were ages 5 to 60, and a lot of the pictures of the younger victims were spreading unimpeded on Twitter.
Yeah, it was definitely upsetting to one of our writers who had to, go on Twitter and verify that these pictures were in fact there. So definitely a tough situation, obviously, for the people impacted, right? Like the families and friends who might be seeing these images, but even for people that, are just using Twitter as a platform for work or for...
And there were some voices saying, this is good that this is spreading, it will prompt change. There was a little bit of back and forth, but I would say the majority of the voices were, this is not a good thing, this is not something we want to see, this is something that is like degrading the Twitter experience, which is a theme we've seen over the past 6 months since Elon took over.
Sure. So you did mention that Twitter has historically been a platform that was more open, less censored, right, when it comes to pornography or other images like that. But we can't, discount that Twitter's content moderation team basically went out the window after Elon Musk took over.
Yeah, he's laid off. At this point, it's funny, he originally said, I'm gonna lay off 75% of the company, then he backtracked and said, I'm only gonna lay off a quarter and then a half, but he really seems to have laid off 75% of the company by this point, which includes, one, the press relations team, because anytime you email Twitter, you just get a poop emoji in response. More relevant to this, like the content moderation team is clearly gone. This is something that in the past, Twitter would have intervened on. I'm almost positive, and I've seen them do it with other mass shootings, and now there's just nobody keeping the lights on, so to speak. There's nobody putting anything in front of graphic images that are spreading so rapidly.
Well, their response, the poop emoji, I guess this whole situation would be bullshit for some folks following along. I do want to, before we wrap up, talk about even Elon's behavior on the app after this shooting. He had some questionable responses to people, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. He was responding to a lot of right-wing commentators who were... The shooter in Allen, Texas was like a neo-Nazi. He had big SS tattoos, big swastika tattoo on his chest, and people were responding saying, this doesn't add up, it's a false flag, these sort of conspiracy theory adjacent things about the shooting of like what's going on. And Elon was responding to those things saying, interesting, this gets weirder by the minute. And it was sort of, he's
stoking
not
the fire, perhaps.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not saying I agree with this or I think it was a false flag. He's saying he's adding legitimacy, because if you have 120 million followers and they see your reply to that sort of thing, they're gonna look at the conspiracy theory. So he's adding legitimacy by replying and saying, what's this? Pointing his finger at like, you guys should look at this.
Probably not something just in general that a lot of people want to look at. So if you do want to check out more of our coverage on this, though, I would say that's worth checking out. You can head over to Gizmodo.com.